Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Do you remember Napster? Napster? I just realized now that people go, what's Napster? That's like old technology. Well, there was a time when people said, hey, it's really, really cool. You can download songs for free off the internet. Now, of course, you can buy songs off the internet cheaply enough to where most people, I think, probably pay for them. And you can also watch music all day long and listen to it off of YouTube. So the idea that people are stealing music these days, it hadn't even occurred to me that that was still a thing. But Kevin sent me a note and said, hey, Steve, check this out. It still is a thing. Because the headline from arstechnica.com, written by John Brodkin, says internet service provider sued by record labels agrees to identify 100 users accused of piracy. The legal discovery targets the names of users hit with copyright notices. So a cable company, Altus, I've never heard of them, Altice, Altus, agreed to give Warner and other record labels the names and contact information of 100 broadband subscribers who were accused of pirating songs. The subscribers were the subject of RIAA or third-party copyright notices, said a court order that approved the agreement between Altus and the plaintiff record companies. Altus is notifying each subscriber of Altus's intent to disclose the name and contact information to plaintiffs pursuant to this order and telling notified subscribers they have 30 days to seek relief from the court. So they want to fight it, they got 30 days to do it, otherwise their information is being given up. If subscribers do not object within a month, Altus must disclose the subscribers' names, phone numbers, addresses, and email addresses. The judge's order was issued on February 12th and reported recently. The names and contact information will be classified as highly confidential and attorneys' eyes only. A separate order issued in April of last year said that documents produced in discovery shall be used by the parties only in the litigation and shall not be used for any other purpose. Altus operates the Optimum brand, was sued back in 2023 in the U.S. District Court for Eastern District of Texas. The music publisher's complaint alleges that Altus knowingly contributed to or reaped substantial profits from massive copyright infringement committed by thousands of its subscribers. The lawsuit said plaintiffs sent over 70,000 infringement notices to Altus from February of 2020 through November of 2023. At least a few subscribers were allegedly hit with hundreds of them. The lawsuit gave 3 examples of IP addresses that were cited in these infringement notices. Altus failed to terminate repeat infringers whose IP addresses were flagged in these copyright notices. Those notices advised Altus of its subscribers' blatant and systematic use of the internet service to illegally download, copy, and distribute the copyrighted music through BitTorrent and other online file sharing services. Rather than working with plaintiffs to curb this, Altus did nothing, choosing to prioritize its profits over its legal obligations. And this is one of just many copyright lawsuits filed against broadband providers, and it's not the first time an ISP handed names of subscribers to plaintiffs. Ars Technica has previously written articles about film studios trying to force Reddit to identify users who admitted torrenting in discussion forums. Reddit was able to avoid providing information in one case in part because the film studios already obtained identifying details for 118 subscribers directly from the ISP that they had sued. Copyright owners can issue subpoenas to subscribers whose names are provided by ISPs, though they have sought easier ways to get the information they want. In the 2023 case involving film studios and Reddit, a magistrate judge wrote that the studios resist serving these subscribers with subpoenas as burdensome and inconsistent with their deadlines. As for the Warner versus Altus case, Ars Technica reached out to both companies to ask how the names and contact information will be used. And they say they'll update us on that. Presumably, the record companies will seek information from the subscribers to support their case that Altus allowed them to illegally download copyrighted material, and financial awards in such cases can be large. A federal jury in Virginia ruled in 2019 that ISP Cox had to pay $1 billion in damages to the major record labels. Now, a later court vacated that award, and they're having another trial on that, and the Supreme Court is considering taking it up. But keep in mind that along with financial payouts, copyright holders want to set a legal precedent that force ISPs to terminate users accused of repeat infringement. So I remember going back years ago when, like I said, Napster was a thing. And the record companies would go after people and say, okay, we've discovered that you've downloaded a bunch of songs. Each violation is a couple $1,000s. And so we add it up and boom, you owe us a pile of money. And they would not sue everybody. They would just threaten to sue people. And they'd sue one or two just to get, some examples they can give. And, people have gotten so used to seeing that warning screen at the beginning and ends of videos that says things like the FBI investigates copyright infringement and the crime's quite serious and you could be subject to penalties, blah, blah, blah. People just, their eyes glaze over and they refocus when that thing's off the screen. But theoretically, you could be in a lot of trouble if you got caught downloading songs illegally or movies illegally or books illegally or whatever it might be. And it's against the law. And so most people go, I've been doing this for a long time and nobody's ever come after me. And stories like this, I don't recall having seen a story like this in a little while. And I remember back during the days of Napster when all kinds of crazy lawsuits were flying around, I remember that quite well. But of course, Napster was on the front cover of Time magazine at one point. So I had thought this had quieted down. So apparently, if you use the cable company Altus, which like I said, I've never heard of before, and you've downloaded stuff illegally, you might be getting swept up in this. And so John Brodkin writes that he thinks that they're going after these people so they can ask them about their use of the service and so on. But I also suspect they might sue some of them. Because why not? If you've downloaded something illegally and they can prove it, they can get statutory damages from you, and the statutory damages can add up really fast. And I remember talking to people who had downloaded thousands and thousands of songs off of Napster. Yeah, I got all these songs for free. It's like, well, yeah, but you're not supposed to do that. So, I know you might think hey, Steve Moneybags there. Are you telling me you actually buy music? Yeah, I do. I bought a song last week. I paid $1.29 to download a song I like. And if I didn't tell you now the name of that song, a lot of people would be upset. So I may as well tell you the name of the song. The song was by a band called Orange Juice. Orange Juice. And the song is called Rip It Up. And this book mentions the song. I'd never heard of the band, nor had I heard of the song. But I'd heard of the lead singer. So I looked it up. It's on YouTube. And that's a good song. I like that song. I bought it. I bought the song. And I'm blown away by this. The fact that a song like that existed back then. I never heard of it because it didn't get airplay in America. Didn't get airplay in England, really. And it wasn't a big hit, but it's a great, great song. This is simply on an independent label. As a result, I hadn't heard it till just a couple days ago. Dropped $1.29 and bought it. $1.29. Just like in the old days of buying 45s. So, Orange Juice. Rip It Up. Check it out. But yeah, here we are again. They're back at it. That's the record companies and the people who own these rights going after people, downloading this stuff illegally. So Kevin, thanks for sending that. John Brodkin wrote for ArsTechnica.com. ISP sued by record labels agrees to identify 100 users accused of piracy. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it.